Welcome to the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, and we welcome you back to our sanctuary in what feels like many, many months of being away. I am Reverend Jacqueline Brett, and whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever your race, your gender, whomever you love, and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, we welcome you here. As if you're new to this community, and especially if you're visiting with us today, I invite you to introduce yourself in the chat box. You'll also find a link there that will help you to learn more about us. Beginning today, we are starting a very limited Phase 2 reopening plan approved by our board. ERUUF groups will be able to use assigned outdoor space only according to specific rules of use. There will be a Zoom meeting for our group leaders this coming Wednesday, September 9th, to go over reopening plan guidelines, rules of use, and to answer your questions. Please see this week's e-news or contact office@eruuf.org for information on how to get registered so that you can receive the link for this meeting. At this time, though our Sunday morning services are being produced from the sanctuary, they will continue to be live streamed only. In accord with Phase 2 guidelines, only a small team of 10 people, that includes worship leaders, musicians, and tech team, will be the only people present in the sanctuary for this time. Details on all of this are on the homepage of ERUUF's website. All other programs will continue as they have online as all buildings on campus remain closed. We do all of this for the health and safety of us all as we each do our part to slow the spread of the coronavirus. In other news this morning, ERUUF's Virtual Connections Fair has officially begun today. You should have received an email this morning with details on the fair and how to access a very special interactive website that has been created for the fair. Everyone can also access this website from the homepage of ERUUF's main website at ERUUF.org. That is ERUUF.org. Finally, directly after this service, everyone is invited to a very special virtual coffee hour hosted by Reverend Cayer that will celebrate the new era of solar energy that has come to ERUUF now that we have solar panels installed and they are fully operational. Information on how to get to the virtual coffee hour will appear on your screen and in the chat box at the end of the service. You can also access that from the homepage of ERUUF's website. This week, each of us returns again to ERUUF. We celebrate today, as we do each year, the return of our fellowship from summer with a water ceremony. And so we invite each of you to have a small container and a little bowl present as you participate from home. We're also introducing a new ritual, a blessing of the masks. So have your masks present too, as together we create this new ceremony for our times. Today's worship team includes myself, Reverend Deborah Cayer, Reverend Stacy Grove, and Julia Tyler, Director of Religious Education. Music is presented by Kate Lewis on piano, Claudia Kaplan is our cantor, and the Eno River Virtual Summer Choir will do our music for meditation. The tech team for today's service are Jenny Jolly, Sean Trimble, and Chris Eagle with Scott Gaskins on sound. So now, I invite us all to center ourselves into this time and this place. And let us all together take a deep breath in and let it out. And so we continue with the prelude offered here by Kate Lewis.
Our opening words today are by Reverend Manish K. Mishra Marzetti, River Call. Between rocking the boat and sitting down, between stirring things up and peaceably going along, we find ourselves here in community, each called from many different journeys, many different life paths onto this river road. Some are here because the rocking of the boat has been too much tumult, too much uncertainty, too much pain. Some are here with questions about where this boat is going, how best to steer it, where this journey ends. Others are here as lovers of the journey, lovers of life itself. Here in front, beside, behind, each a passenger, each a captain, doing the best we can. Rest here in your boat with me, the river calls. Listen to how I flow, the sound of life coursing all around you. Let the current hold you. Let the current guide you. The river that gently flows through your soul whispers, "Come, let us worship."
Our chalice lighting this morning is by Katie Gelfand. We light this chalice as a symbol of reunion. We reunite in this sanctuary to share the flow of our hearts with one another. We gather together in ritual to celebrate our fountains of joy, to hold each other through storms of grief, to guide one another through rapids of transformation, to rest together on ponds of stillness. Together, we honor the spirit of water with its many forms and its life-giving essence. And so we begin first by pouring libation. We pour libation first for the people, the Eno people, on whose land, ancestral lands, we here in Durham now reside. We pour libation for each of our ancestors who loved us into being for this Sunday morning. And finally, we pour libation for the ancestors of the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship who loved this fellowship into being.
Our fellowship has a tradition of marking life transitions with a rose. When a baby or child is dedicated in this community, we give them a rose without thorns to symbolize our commitment to care for them in body, mind, and spirit. When our youth graduate from high school, we give them a rose with thorns as a symbol of our confidence in their ability to take responsibility for themselves and to care for themselves now. When new members join the fellowship, we give them a rose to welcome them as a symbol of belonging. And when a member dies, we place the petals of a rose onto the waters of life. This morning, we add rose petals to this bowl of water for one of ERUUF's founding members, Stacy Carr. Stacy died on May 24th. We also add a rose petal for Bert Geiger. Bert was a longtime member of ERUUF who had recently been living at Carolina Meadows, and Bert died on July 24th. We also light these candles for the bright, beautiful light of Stacy and Bert's lives, and our love and our care for them, which continues always.
Our first song together this morning is Return Again by Rabbi Shlomo Carlebach. He was born in Berlin in 1925 and escaped Nazi Germany with his family in 1939 as the Holocaust was beginning. After the war, Carlebach is credited with bringing a renewal of Judaism through his songs. The Hebrew word for turning is teshuvah. It's associated with the Jewish high holy days, which come later this month. Sung at this time, it carries a deeply spiritual sense of coming back to the source of our being to reestablish right relationship with ourselves and with others. And so we'll sing Return Again now with Claudia Kaplan leading us as cantor and Kate Lewis on piano.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul.
Our first reading this morning is Be Still with Me and Enter by Marta Valentin. So this is an interesting development here. So as we keep ourselves healthy and safe and get our masks tangled in our mics. Be still with me and enter into the crescent fold of my arm as I gather you to this time and place. Wind your thoughts like a river toward the center of who we are this morning as one body and out among others in the world. Be still with me and enter into this celebration of resilience and resurrection. For we are vessels eternally rising out of the water, alive with a purpose and strength unknown to us. Be still with me and enter quietly into this time and this place of unbound love and gratitude.
Be still with me and enter into this place of unbound love and gratitude. Maybe your life has been more still than usual and as you've been staying home. Maybe your life has been anything but still as you've been crowded into ceaseless contact with your loved ones and your housemates. However life has been going for you, it's good every so often to remember that however cramped, crowded, and contained our life has become, we are still, as always, connected to sources that are large and spacious, that we are part of all of the natural elements of the universe, the bits and the pieces, and also the systems. And that all of those natural elements in the universe, the bits and the pieces and the systems, also live within us. It's a mystery, and it's awesome. And it's a gift that we are able to join together in community to witness and honor these important truths, these important mysteries together. We've got a responsive reading this morning. I'm going to read the first part, and your part will be in bold on the screen. And you can read this along with Jacqueline, and that way, together, we can create this part of our liturgy this morning. So this is, we are the people of this beloved community. We are people of earth and air, fire and water. We carry each of these elements within our bones, within our breath.
They are in the exchange between each cell. They are in our blood and our tears, in the water that held us before our birth.
It is a mystery how all these things came to be knit together into our muscles, our minds, and our hearts.
We gather this morning from the safe distance of our various homes, a great distance of time, at times of miles and minutes, thoughts and feelings.
We have walked by reservoirs of plenty. We have dreamed by waters of peace. We have meditated on the shores of memory. We assemble now on the banks of hope.
We gathered this morning as a spiritual community. We are the people of Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. No virus can change that. No quarantine can separate one heart from another.
The river at the heart of this community is a river of love and caring, a river of challenge and growth.
As members of this beloved community, we gather today to sing and meditate to laugh, listen, and share,
so that our lives may be restored, our love renewed, and our resolve strengthened for our work in the world.
This is our water service Sunday, so I've got a story that's called It Could Still Be Water. And I'm going to read it to you, almost like we're in person. I'm going to tell you this story and show you the pictures in the book. Water. When you're thirsty, you drink it. When you're dirty, you wash with it. And on a hot day, you can swim in it. You can do so many things with water. In fact, you can't live without it. People, other animals, plants, we all have to have water. Most of the world is covered by water. If you look at a globe, you'll see that most of it is water. Less of it is land. Even your own body is mostly water. Doesn't that look good? Water is a liquid. It's wet and you can pour it. But water isn't always a liquid. Look at those beautiful icicles. Water could freeze until it becomes solid and still be water. An ice cube is a piece of frozen water. Water could rise into the air as tiny droplets called vapor and still be water. It could come out as steam in a kettle, in a tea kettle, or out of your breath on a cold day. That's the reason we need masks too. Water can come right out of our noses, our mouths. It could be thick as fog, or a cloud in the sky. And it's still water. As the water droplets cool from those clouds, they get bigger and bigger and eventually fall down as rain. Or freeze into snow. So whether it's a funny snowman or a fluffy cloud, or a fish's home, it could still be water. Isn't that amazing? Water can change so much, and we are mostly water. So we can change so much too, so much. Our hearts can change, our minds can change, and so can everyone else's. It's possible. And it's exciting, isn't it, when we think about other people changing, especially. It's a little scary when we think about our own selves changing. We can have ideas ourselves that are almost like icicles that are really hard, maybe opinions about stuff, and with some love, warming it up, sometimes those ideas will melt and change. They could become liquid or even clouds. So much change is possible. Which is a good thing. That's a good thing because our world has changed so much, especially recently. But our lives are always changing. Things change. That's the agreement with life, that things will change. So it's a good thing if we can change or adapt to meet those those changes that happen in our world, in our lives. So you might imagine yourself like a river instead of an icicle. Not necessarily a cloud either, but just thinking about how you can flow around all the rocks and the curves in life. So blessings to all of you, beautiful water beings. Blessed Be These Hands by Diane New, adapted. Blessed be these hands that have touched life. Blessed be these hands that have nurtured creativity. Blessed be these hands that have held pain. Blessed be these hands that have embraced with passion. Blessed be these hands that have tended gardens. Blessed be these hands that have closed in anger. And blessed be these hands that have planted new seeds. Blessed be these hands that have harvested ripe fields. Blessed be these hands that have cleaned and washed and mopped and scrubbed. Blessed be these hands that have become knotty with age. Blessed be these hands that are wrinkled and scarred from doing justice. Blessed be these hands that have reached out and been received. Blessed be these hands that hold the promise of the future.
Our next hymn is I've Got Peace Like a River. We have been singing this song this summer a lot in our children's chapel. It's emerged as a favorite, and our kids have become very creative making up new lyrics, including last Sunday, one of our participants offered, I've got magic like a stuffed animal unicorn that they have. So I invite you to have fun singing along with this song at home and enjoying it all week long.
It's like a river. I've got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I've got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I've got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got pain like an arrow. I got pain like raindrops. I got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I got tears like the raindrops. I got tears like the raindrops. I got tears like the raindrops in my soul. I've got strength like a mountain. I got strength like a mountain. I got strength like a mountain in my soul. I got strength like a mountain. I got strength like a mountain. I got strength like a mountain in my soul.
Good morning. Please join me in this morning's spoken meditation, Water's Journey Through the World by Reverend Deborah Cayer, with inspiration and collaboration from Robin Heeks and Mike Johnson. It starts somewhere. Water comes bubbling up from the earth, or it falls down from the sky. It gathers in pools and puddles until it can be still no more. For water is always on the move, and it begins to slide and trickle and flow until it becomes a stream, a creek, a river, flowing always toward the sea. Dragonflies drink from the river, and frogs and turtles and salamanders splash in it, and otters and foxes and bears, and another animal too, humans. Humans splash and play in the water, swim in the water. Humans use the water for their gardens and crops, and humans use water for other things too. They use water to turn big turbines that make electricity. Water is strong and powerful. Water can make electricity that lights up the night and pushes back the darkness. Electricity that heats and cools our homes, that powers our factories, that make our clothes and tools and equipment. Water is powerful and strong, and yet water is gentle. Water is gentle enough to wash a newborn baby, or the face of someone who is ill and not feeling very strong. People need water, and so we drink water, and it travels through our bodies and then back into the earth, where it is cleansed and purified. And then the pure water travels once more into a lake or a river. Lucille Clifton says, water is the great circulation of the earth's body, like the blood of the gods, this river in which the past is always flowing. Every water is the same water, the same river, and the river is flowing, always flowing, moving always till it gets down to the sea. This morning, we hold in our hearts, all in this spiritual community, for our children adapting to education in new ways, for their parents who strive to balance work and home life, for those who despair and grieve losses, who struggle with injustice, with illness and other stress, as well as those celebrating the milestones of life. We pray for our nation, for its leaders, for those living in the wake of natural disasters brought on by fire, wind, and water. And amidst all this, there is heartfelt gratitude for our diverse, beloved community that binds us together as one. Let us hold all of these in our hearts for a moment of silence. Amen. Ashe. May it be so. Our meditation hymn is "It Is Well With My Soul." First published in 1876, the hymn is by Horatio Spafford and Philip Bliss. Spafford wrote the lyrics as he sought solace after the death of 5 people in his family. This arrangement is by Jocelyn Neal and Kate Lewis, and it is performed by members of the Eno River Virtual Summer Choir.
Hi, everyone. My name is
Sorrows like sea billows
Thank you for being with us on this journey as we learn complicated new systems yet again together, this morning especially. It is well with my soul. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the loss of 5 people from your family? And then to find a way through that to a place where it is well with my soul. Along the way, surely there are tears. Along my way these past several months, there have definitely been tears for all the troubles in the world. How could there not be? The fires up and down the canyons in California are devastating. The powerful hurricanes that flatten whole communities are devastating. The fear, uncertainty, illness, and death brought by the pandemic and the incompetence of our nation's highest leaders in dealing with everything is devastating. The sight of Black men murdered in the streets, Black people murdered and harassed in their own homes, has been devastating. How could we not cry? How could we not cry out of our shock and our anger and a great sense of helplessness? How could we not shed tears together with the parents of those who have been murdered? Our human tears are all the same. Our tears unite us in our sorrow. Our tears help us feel our deep, inescapable inner connection. And so, our tears are sacred, in part because they help us find solidarity, and they help us know that we are not alone. We are not alone amid these great troubles and these great struggles. Our tears unite us and help us turn toward the future, to figure out what we can do about racism and climate change and economic and racial injustice. Our tears can help us remember our interdependence and that the way forward is together. And so, our tears are one way that we come home to ourselves and to real, genuine community. We return again through our tears to that community which is never perfect and always challenging, and yet at the same time it is full of love, and it can be so genuinely joyful. All can be well with our souls when we face what's real and we listen to each other. This is a Sunday when normally in Unitarian Universalist congregations across this continent, many services would include a water ceremony. People would bring water from vacation spots and garden plots, home faucets, anywhere that has had a special meaning for them over the summer. Well, it's certainly different this year, isn't it? I don't know about you, but I spent most of my summer in my very own home, my very own yard, and the water that I have played in has been groundwater collected after heavy rain. My garden has been so grateful for all of that water. How can we not be grateful for everything that we have, a home and friends and food? What is it that you're grateful for? When we're grateful, gratitude fills up our heart. It makes it swell up, kind of like a sponge taking in water. And when we're filled with gratitude, it's pretty normal that what happens next is we want to squeeze that sponge so we can share some of the goodness and the abundance of our lives with other people. Now, I hope you have some water with you at home today. It could be water from your kitchen faucet or from your garden hose, or it might be water from someplace special. Wherever it comes from, I invite you to pour it out into a plant or into a bowl. Because when we pour water like this, it's a kind of an offering. It might be that we're glad to share our knowledge, the things that we've learned. Or this water might represent our gifts, our talents, our hopes, our longings, all of our dreams, everything that we're willing to risk sharing with others on this great journey into the unknown. When we pour a bit of water, it's as if we're saying, this is what I am willing to risk. This is what I'm hoping to find a way to share, to create together with you. This is my dream that I'm sharing with you now. So, what are you willing to risk? What dream are you longing to share? This water, it's just water. But our willingness to take a risk, our willingness to dare to dream and to create and to share, that's what's sacred. Will you join me now in the spirit of meditation and prayer? The Spirit of life breathes through all times and all places. Cities come and go, and yet the Spirit remains. Holy Spirit, fill our hearts with compassion just as you fill our bodies with the power of life. Fill our minds with truth and our souls with determination. May we be strong enough to abide with those who mourn, compassionate enough to stand with all who have been wronged, determined enough to ask tough questions until the truth shines forth. Fill us with life and love that we might serve life with love. May we ever stand in the same stream of living waters as all who have truly loved, all who have truly worked for justice. With the Spirit of life to sustain us and guide us, we are going on. Together we go on. Amen. Ashe. Blessed be.
And so I invite you to join with me for a responsive reading called Let's Be Thankful for Water, inspired once again by the writing of Mike Johnson. I will read the first part, and please join Deb in the response. Let us be thankful, and the words appear on your screen. Each time we drink water,
Let us be thankful.
each time we wash with water,
Let us be thankful.
each time we feel the rain,
Let us be thankful.
each time we swim in water,
Let us be thankful.
each time we gaze at the beauty of water,
Let us be thankful.
and each time we take action on behalf of water.
Let us be thankful.
Much of our ministry is online right now, and your financial support is needed and appreciated. Whether you give right now using the link you'll find in the chat box, through ERUUF's website, auto draft, or by sending a check through the mail, your generosity is always appreciated. And as the effects of the pandemic begin to hit some of us hard, please be reminded that the Minister's Discretionary Fund is available. This is money that our members have given in order to help each other in times of need. Please contact one of the ministers if you think we might be able to help. Our music for this morning's offertory is the hymn, "We Shall Gather at the River." You're invited to join in as Claudia Kaplan leads the song, accompanied by Kate Lewis on piano.
Shall we gather at the river where bright angel feet have trod, with its crystal tide forever flowing by the throne of God? Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. On the margin of the river, washing up its silver spray, we will walk and worship ever of the happy golden day. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Ere we reach the shining river, lay we every burden down. Grace our spirits will deliver and provide a robe and a crown. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God. Soon we'll reach the shining river, soon our pilgrimage will cease, soon our happy hearts will quiver with the melody of peace. Yes, we'll gather at the river, the beautiful river. Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
We give thanks for the many gifts of this day. And as we are reaching more friends of ERUUF, I encourage you to share the gift of this service with the people in your circles. Simply click the like and share icons on your screen, or copy the link for today's service and email it to a friend. And so we close our service today with a new ritual created especially for our times, a blessing of the masks. As we return to school, to work, and move more freely about our lives, we are now wearing masks, which doesn't always feel that great for many reasons. But even an inconvenience such as this can be approached as a sacred spiritual practice, one that recognizes the sacredness of our own life and the life of every person each one of us encounters. And so, along with my mask, I have here other masks created by ERUUF's Mighty Mask Brigade, which was begun this spring by Audrey Green. This amazing group of volunteers have produced 17,000 masks since that time. They have been donated to organizations such as El Centro, the Durham Health Department, End Hunger Now, Parks and Rec, Welcome Baby, and Lincoln Community Health, among others. And so at this time, I invite you to hold your mask in your hands. Take a moment to really feel it. Feel the texture of it, the weight of it. What is it made of? What kind of mask is it? A plastic shield? A surgical mask? A homemade cloth mask? Who made it? How did you get it? Take a moment and just consider all these things. Think about where you've worn this mask and where you might wear it in the future. And notice what feelings it brings up for you. Or maybe it brings up no feelings at all. And so I offer now this blessing, adapted from one created by Elizabeth McCord. Spirit of life, bless our masks. May we place them on our faces thankfully, grateful for our bodies and for the breath that fills the fabric. May we remove them mindfully, thankful for human connection and for the gift of today's interactions. May our masks make life more meaningful. May they enliven our senses, reminding us to listen with compassion and speak with humility. May they draw us together, inspiring respect for one another and enabling mutual care. May our masks move us to treasure this day, the smiles that draw the cloth closer, the laughter that pulls the elastic or cords together, the tenderness of our faces that reflects the tenderness of our hearts. Spirit of life, bless our masks and all they have to teach us. Help us find joy and purpose in this new practice, and lead us toward a day of wholeness when our faces may shine freely in your presence. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. Go in peace, my friends. Go in love, and may your life be a blessing.